Accordingly, effective immediately, I am banning...
Boom. In a move no one saw coming, Brittney Griner, once the face of the WNBA, is now banned for life.
Days after Adam Silver issued a permanent ban on Brittney Griner from the WNBA, the fallout has grown into a full-blown crisis. What started as a league decision has now turned into a player-led uprising, with some of the WNBA's biggest names blasting the move.
Shaq went off, and he did it live for the whole world to see. No filter, no PR team, no soft talk. He called out Adam Silver by name right in the middle of the stream. You could literally see the fire in his eyes. And man, the look on Silver's face, pure shock. Dude looked like he just got slapped with reality on.
Gotta stop, bro. So Brittney Griner has just been suspended for the entire season, as in the last week she has done some of the most diabolical things we have ever seen
on national TV. He didn't see it coming. Not from Shaq. Now this ain't just a little clip getting passed around. This thing exploded. It's on TikTok, Reddit, ESPN, WNBA threads, everywhere. But before we dive into that viral meltdown, let's rewind a bit. Shaq's blow-up wasn't random. It was years in the making. A slow boil that finally burst, and it all circles back to how the league handled Brittney Griner's situation. Everybody's been watching Brittney for a minute now, but not for her skills on the court, which is wild because she's still got it. Nah, she's been in the news for the wrong reasons, and none of it is her fault. She sacrificed a lot, more than most would, and instead of being celebrated for her strength, for her leadership, for the way she came back, the league acted like she was just disposable, tossed to the side without a word. Quiet, cold, no honor, no respect. Let's be real. If it was any other superstar at her level, they'd get a tribute video, jersey retirement, the works. But Brittney, nothing but whispers. It was shady. Then out of nowhere, these rumors started flying. The WNBA might be cutting ties with her. But here's the kicker. It wasn't because of injuries or her performance. Nope. It was all because some execs decided she's too controversial now, too hot for the brand. That's cold. And that's when Shaq snapped. No more sitting quiet. He's always been a straight shooter. He'll speak up when something smells off, and this reeked of betrayal. His history with Silver, let's just say it's never been all smiles. Sure, there's a bit of professional respect, but deep down, Shaq's never trusted the man, and he's never been shy about saying so. So when the story dropped about Griner getting iced out and Silver was out here smiling, talking big about expanding the NBA like everything's cool, Shaq wasn't having it. He jumped on IG Live and lit the place up. No code words, no dancing around. He dropped Silver's name straight up and demanded answers. Is this how the league treats someone who gave everything for the sport? He asked. Shaq's voice was shaking, not from nerves but from rage. He wasn't just mad, he felt betrayed. He said, "Don't come at me talking about growing the game when you can't even stand up for the people who made it what it is." And people watching, they felt it. The live was packed. Comments were flying. It wasn't just drama, it was a moment. You could feel it. This was more than a rant. This was Shaq drawing a line in the sand. Shaq wasn't out there putting on a show. He was hurt and straight up frustrated. But the line that shook the whole room? When he said, "If this is how you treat Brittney, I don't even want to know what you do to someone without a name." Boom! That line landed hard. Silver literally froze mid-response. It was like someone pulled the plug on his whole PR act. Everything shifted right there. From just one player's situation to the entire league's legacy being called into question. And what did Silver say back? Nothing. Not a word. No clever spin, no script, no calm executive voice, just awkward silence. He got caught without a plan. But what made this whole thing blow up wasn't just Shaq's live. It was what came after. Within minutes, WNBA fans were flooding Instagram with clips of the rant. One story after another, it was all over the timeline. Then came the players. Not just rookies or bench warmers, veterans, names with weight, women who put years into this league who earned the right to speak out, and they weren't quiet either. Some kept it simple, just reposted the video with no words needed. Others let loose and aired out their frustrations. But they all had one thing in common. They knew the WNBA had been skating by for too long without being held accountable. And now, the league was getting checked, and everyone saw it coming. And the fact that it was Shaq, a major NBA legend, who stepped up first, that just lit the match even more. The conversation didn't stay in the WNBA circle. Nah, It spread fast. NBA players started chiming in. A few kept it low-key, but others, they came in swinging. No holding back, no sugarcoating. You could feel the league splitting down the middle right on social media. And the higher-ups, they were sweating bullets, scrambling to figure out how to calm the storm, but it was already too late. The fans had eyes wide open now. They started piecing everything together. Silver's silence, the WNBA's half-baked public statements, and all that NBA expansion talk. It all started looking like one big distraction. People weren't falling for it. TikTok comment sections, savage. YouTube live chats during ESPN coverage, flooded with free Brittney messages and demands for answers. Some fans even started calling for a full-blown boycott. One said, "Boycott the WNBA, don't support abuse and racism." Another wrote, "It's time to cancel the WNBA All-Star Game. This league's a joke. Shut it down." And the wildest part? That wasn't even the peak of the chaos. Fans ain't letting this one slide. They're digging deep, stitching clips, cross-referencing interviews, comparing receipts. And now it's clicking. People are starting to see that Shaq might have known way more than he let on. And now that he's said it live with no script, no filter, everything just snapped into place. What used to be whispers is now front and center, and it's looking real bad for Adam Silver. For years, Silver had that progressive commissioner label on lock. He was the guy the media loved to hype up, the leader who listened, stood with the players, and made the league look woke and modern. But now, that image is cracking like thin glass. Because when your biggest names from both the NBA and WNBA say enough is enough, silence doesn't make you look calm. It makes you look weak, or worse, guilty. Shaq didn't just go off, he pulled the curtain back. He triggered something the league can't undo. Because this ain't just about Brittney anymore. Nah, this is about everything. Accountability, honesty, and the messed up fact that a billion-dollar league still puts looking good above doing what's right. And what makes it hit even harder? Brittney Griner herself hasn't clapped back. No fiery post, no live response, nothing direct. But she did recently open up in a low-key interview with Cam Newton where she got real about how the league treats its players. She didn't name names, but you could hear the hurt. She said it's sad how little protection players actually get from the people in charge. Even while trying to stay diplomatic, you could tell she was holding back. Not because she wanted to, but probably because she had to. The tension in her voice said it all. She was trying not to step on toes that might already be pressing down on her. So now folks are wondering, what kind of pressure is Brittney really under? What's she afraid to say out loud? Sources close to her have whispered she's going through it, feeling betrayed, used, and straight up let down. Let's not forget, Brittney carried this league. When things were quiet, when the lights weren't on, she showed up. She held it down when others wouldn't. And this is the thanks she gets? Even if you didn't vibe with how she handled certain moments, you gotta admit, this ain't how you treat a vet. This ain't how you treat someone who gave the game everything. So now we're here. Shaq fired the first shot. Players backed him up. Fans are applying pressure. Sponsors are starting to pull back. And the media, they're circling like sharks. But the one person who still hasn't said a single word, Adam Silver, no apology, no statement. Not even the usual, we're evaluating the situation nonsense. Nothing. And that silence, it's turning into a problem. Because when there's no leadership, people start drawing their own conclusions. And right now, those conclusions are getting uglier by the day. No slick PR stunt or big budget commercial is gonna clean this up. Not this time. And the craziest part, this whole firestorm didn't even start with a journalist, a leaked memo, or even Brittney herself. That would have been too neat, too easy to sweep under the rug. Nope. This came from Shaq, a man who's worn every hat in the game. Player, champion, analyst, team owner, living legend. When he speaks up and says, "This ain't right," people listen. And they don't just listen, they act. Now the question ringing across every corner of the internet is simple. Why hasn't Adam Silver said a single word? What's stopping him? He's the face of the league, the so-called leader. But right now, he's ghost. He can't just keep throwing press conferences about expansion, flashing smiles while cutting ribbons for new teams, pretending the future's all bright. Not when one of the league's most important players is out here being tossed aside like she never mattered. Until Silver steps up and faces what happened, really faces it. Every move he makes is going to be met with side eyes and suspicion. Every spotlight he steps into, it's going to feel like shade. And that tells us one thing loud and clear. This storm, it ain't over. Not even close. If you're watching all this unfold and you want to stay plugged into everything they don't want you to see, like subscribe and hit that bell, because we're keeping the heat on and this saga is far from done.